So I'm turning comments off for this one. You can hit the dislike button all you want to, and you can share the video and say what a sexist bastard I am all you want to. But I don't care. I really don't care. Um, I do not want the Bella Twins back in WWE, and I have a good reason why. I think it's a good reason. They are divas. They are not wrestlers, and there is a difference between Sable was a diva, couldn't work hardly a lick. Terry Reynolds was a diva. You didn't see her work often. Miss Jackie from the 90s, Jacqueline, she could do both. China was not a diva by any means. Um, and then you had women like Victoria, Trish, Lita, all played their roles and all looked good and could actually work. And then came these Bella twins who Johnny Ace, they were Johnny Ace hire, and Johnny Ace hired them because they were models. And they gave it their best shot. They gave it their best effort, but all in all, they were not good workers. They're not good workers, which astounds me. It astounds me how over the years these women, Brie Bella is married to quite possibly the best wrestler, technical, on the mic, in every which way of the last 20 years in Brian Danielson. Yet she can't work a lick. You got Nikki Bella, who at one time was engaged to John Cena, who at least has some psychology there. I'm not going to say his work is the greatest, but hell, he's the modern day Hulk Hogan. No pun intended, but he she hasn't learned a thing. On the meantime, they had people like Paige come up, people like Emma come up who can work. Tennille Dashwood, Emma, she can work. And it all goes back to the Bellas just happened to be there. Okay, let's face it. It was the Bella twins versus Paige and Emma on an episode of Raw. And I think it was episode 1135, somewhere in there. And they had given them all of 5 minutes. People got pissed. It was like, what's the point of even having them on the show if you're only going to get 5 minutes? And the hashtag Give Divas a Chance was started. Let me break it down for you. They could have put any four women in that ring at that point, and it still would have had the same effect because people were just getting sick and tired of not seeing women's wrestling. And Paige was already there, but I think Paige was truly the spark of the Divas a Chance movement because they saw that she could work and she looked good at the same time. And then you had the rise of the four horsewomen and everybody out of NXT liked Paige. You know, Paige was the first one to get called up. She won the title on her first night, and that kind of sparked a little bit of an interest. And then you had the four horsewomen: Charlotte, Becky, Bailey, Sasha. All got called up. They didn't get called up at the same time. I believe Bailey was about a year behind all of them. But they were the ones that really sparked the quote unquote revolution. Because even after the Give Divas a Chance thing, Vince McMahon only listened to you for about maybe a week or two, and then they were back to getting 5 minutes again until those four women got called up for NXT. Or from NXT, I should say. So this whole thing, and it really kind of pissed me off about 4 or 5 years ago, whenever that Revolution pay-per-view was, the all-women's show that WWE put on. And it was okay, but the second that, the Bellas had left, and then all of a sudden this Revolution thing happens, and they came back and, we're taking credit for this whole thing. We're taking, and they still, to this day, WWE, when this past Monday night, when they showed Nikki Bella, they still was like, oh, one of the pioneers and of the women's revolution. No, she wasn't. If anything, her and Brie Bella, those two women, put the division back about 10 years. They are divas, not wrestlers. Their work sucks. They can't wrestle a bit. If anything, they contribute to the all we want is eye candy bit. Because that's all they are is eye candy. They can't work a lick. And I know what you people are sitting there going, saying, oh, stupid Mark Joe White, why don't you get in there? They can whoop your ass. I don't care. I don't care that they can whip my ass. I don't care that I haven't worked a lick. I call it like I see it as a fan. And as somebody who's been watching this since he was 6 years old. You know, people like Wendy Richter, Alundra Blaze, they were wrestlers. Leilani Kai, Bull Nakano. They were wrestlers. They actually, could do more than just shake their ass around. Victoria, Lita, Trish, Mickey James, they could all do more than just shake their ass around. But then you have these two Bella twins who want to come in and take credit, and WWE wrongly wants to give them credit. They don't. I'm sorry. They had one move. They had a damn arm drag and maybe a hurricanrana, and then they did a spot where they switched places with each other, and that was it. Their work was the shits. I'm sorry, but they to call themselves pioneers and to call them responsible for this whole thing, that they're responsible for the state of the women's division in 2024. What planet do you live on? What planet do you live on? You could take the Bella Twins out of WWE history completely, act as if they were never there, and it wouldn't matter a lick. We'd still be right where we are. They did not really contribute to anything. They're not pioneers. They did not start a revolution. Despite what they want to tell you, these two women are divas. If they show back up now, and these women like Bailey, like Nia Jax, yes, Nia Jax for all her flaws. Nia Jax, Naomi. Let's see, you got Tiffany Stratton, who properly, has worked her ass off to get to where she is, and she looks good doing it too, as do all the rest of them. Becky Lynch is about to come back. Charlotte Flair. Do you really want to see Charlotte Flair versus Nikki Bella? That doesn't even sound good on paper. It doesn't sound good on paper. And go back to that Revolution pay-per-view that they did. Tell me who were the worst workers on that show? It was the Bella Twins. Okay? So no, I don't want to see these women back in WWE. Go back to being Garcia twins, whatever you're being, whatever you're doing. Guess what? You're not doing a damn thing. You're hosting reality shows and game shows for a living. Womp, 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 womp. Who gives a damn? You know, give me a break. Give me a break. I don't want them back. I was even, like I said, when they did the Revolution pay per view, I was pissed off that they were on that because they had been away. They had been out of the limelight and away from the ring for a good 2 years, at least prior to that pay per view. And then they just show back up and were like, we are responsible for all this. No, you're not. No, you're not. Anyway, we'll see you down the road.